I accept my responsibility. I got a semi-large backlog for Amityville movies, not because of my fault, but because unexpectedly a bunch of stuff got released. So I'm making the reviews. Also want to thank for Hordes of Horror for letting know her sources. Amongst their platforms I found Amityville flicks to watch. Not just this one, but the grand prize of all, as I like to call it, because it is on streaming, so should be accessible for a reasonable price at worst, free if possible. The Amityville Exorcist. Not Amityville Exorcism, the Mark Polonia flick, the other one. We thought for a long time it was dead, but it is not. Because it was officially by the crew thought it was in the death pile. It happened to be not. So here comes the review of Amityville the Lost Tape. Tapes because, you know, that movie Babadook? No, Sinister. You know, watching the tapes. No one will be seated during the extreme mask spray painting. And we declare the title as clickbait, as there will be only one tape, as we can see after the extreme trick-or-treating. So as you can see on the tape, there are some women.
Alright, 4 counts up. That should be good. Alright.
Yep. Okay. That should be enough, and I'll hold one up to our faces.
Alright, I'll count it up. Oh, God. Here we go. Okay.
Let's just do it fast,
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Bloody Mary, 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 Bloody Mary.
We got out of the kitchen and obviously made themselves killed. This was a joke, don't hurt me. As this is a found footage movie now, we know they didn't survive the ordealment, and only will take partially place in Amityville.
Embark upon tomorrow morning our journey of paranormal investigation. We are going to start out looking at some astrology and horoscope charts, and then we are going to move on to a tarot card reader that we are fortunate enough to contact, who is opening up her home to us. And then we are going to move on to Katie's abandoned grandmother's house, where we will sit in the dark and do Ouija board and some other fun stuff. And then to cap off the entire day, the part that I think we're both the most freaked out about, we're going to drive out to Amityville and check out the house there in Amityville where the murders occurred in the 70s and the subsequent hauntings began.
But you know, at least that's still something. You know, not just title hijack like Amityville Elevator or whatever. And they had good chances. I mean, they even had the essential oils. This thing totally looks like someone's VHS era family video for which no one cared. I guess that's a positive here, you know, because found footage.
Is it screen changing, or are we picking up this channel? Or
I don't know.
it looks like there's something there.
You see
There's something there. It looks like there's there and something there. But it could be another channel in the background. I don't know.
I don't see anything through the camera lens.
Okay. I believe 100% in everything until it's disproven, basically. So I
Right.
feel like the EVP, I'm sold.
Oh, after the almost 20 minutes during which they electronic static noise recording, they go to a local library to read some horoscope books. They only spent a couple of minutes there, but I think they really did a very good job with it. By the way, I'm watching this on Fosam, and that definitely has way more advertisement than Tubi. Like every 5 minutes there is one or two advertisements showing up. On the plus side, they don't lag and are thematically relevant. They are mostly self-advertising of other movies on the platform. From here on, there they go to tarot reading.
Where is Lulu?
If she can come down, we can bring her down in a second, but she's gonna like lick everyone to death. I have a few varieties of cards. The baseball tarot that's like the witch's tarot. This goddess tarot is a lot of fun because it's like all women and
Beautiful.
it goes into the whole the female as the the powerful I can't even think of what that's called. What's that religion? Pagan, the Wicca, yeah, that kind of thing. And then there's all these other ones that are just really pretty, cute to look at and stuff. Someone who has no information about tarot cards and just wants an easy understanding. They're very kind of like fruity, the images.
During the car drive, they discuss coincidences, you know, as a supernatural phenomena because it's fate and God ordained. One of them is into Christianity and all that. It's fine. Although I found it very sad when it happened, when the New Age movement was taken over by these angels and whatever old Christian influence crap. I really like the scientific approach to the supernatural of that. Although thinking back how it influenced me, because if we are honest, I could have ended up as a paranormal investigator, and today I'm pretty sure of it that whatever phenomena there is to investigate is minuscule and has proper scientific explanation. You know, we even have nowadays scientific experiment to explain away spontaneous human combustion. It has something to do with acetone accumulating inside the human body and all that. Combustion is not spontaneous. You need an external lighting source to start the reaction. And practically nothing in the room, even if things were flammable, even in the near vicinity, did not burn up. Experimentally demonstrated that this thing is possible. Moving on to the tarot segment, what was
totally ambiguous.
All right, guys,
Got enough for your project?
we're gonna get
Yeah, I'm hungry. Maybe that's what's
charge a
making
little
me
bit.
feel weird.
Yeah, it was a little get the ickiness off of us.
Yeah,
and
I feel
then
like I need to.
we'll pick up from there. All right, guys.
All right, cool.
lasting way too long, and there are, well, I would say two tarot reading, but actually all three of them gets a reading. One of it is very brief. But it seems evident at this point that the IMDb score 2.1 is very underrating this movie. Absolutely. This is understandable if you were expecting, not a found footage genre and something other than a superficial documentary style thing. But if we consider that the movie's target audience is probably women, and the whole thing does work as a supernatural practices, paranormal investigation documentary, not as, they are doing it, but like a real documentary was done with a narrator and building up stuff, is there, it's working, and it is built up. What makes it really good for the audience is that what you are reading into the readings, the horoscope, the tarot reading, as we are at that segment and all that, is led by the nature of this film. That this is a found footage, paranormal investigating Amityville flick. So when they are saying things that you should consider a change in your life, that obviously means that the skeptical guy who is very obviously written that he was harmed by one of these paranormal belief practices. So he's an, as the Christians say, angry atheist who is really a Christian, just angry on God, but believes in everything. And because of his or her anger is very combative to the paranormal stuff. So we, the audience, understand that this is real reading and he should be more open to these phenomena, because he's channeling the negative energies and considering the ending, obviously called in his own comeuppance. Next, if I remember right, I do, they go to one of the group's freshly deceased grandma's house to make an OG session.
Sweet.
Wait.
Oh, sorry.
No, I don't need that.
Now what we're gonna do is talk about urban legends, urban myth, and forms of protection you can use against things like that, such as holy water and some oils that I brought. And then we're gonna bust out the Ouija board, right?
Yep.
Okay.
This takes circa 15 minutes.
You are such a dick. I can't believe you just did that.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist it.
Then they go ghost hunting in the house because one of the doors shut itself by the wind, and the girls, of course, are accusing the Uber guy for messing around. But he denies everything, and we as the audience trust the guy because sure, he was a kind of a break, but he is an honest guy, and maybe there is some chemistry with one of the women. So they hope to see the invisible man standing behind the curtain or something or another. That takes up another circa 10 minutes. Mostly because the tarot reading took way too long. We start to watch Pardon the pun, it was unintended. But, because of that segment, this feels striking because you could shave off a couple of minutes here. Let's be honest. Like 5 minutes total from the 25 minutes. Either way, this leaves us the last 10 minutes, minus credits, minus driving there, for the actual Amityville part of this vlog. Yes, we are going to Amityville.
Yeah, someone is coming out right now. I don't know if we're going to their car or not.
So we'll just keep walking.
We'll just run by.
We won't bother them or make them mad. And then maybe he'll go back inside and we can pass by a little closer.
He's going to his car.
I think someone's following us.
For real?
Oh, if there's someone following us, just pick up the pace a little bit.
Okay. In his car or on foot?
On foot. Shh. Just don't fool around.
Okay. Wow.
He got in the car and he just drove past us, so let's turn around.
Although I think that was it, they didn't have an appointment or the sheer impudence to just knock on the door, so they just walked toward it, walked in front of it. There seems to be a house that looks like their house, with the new windows of course, but they scram off when they get close, saying someone is following them. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, maybe it's supernatural phenomena, maybe it's just their nerves, maybe it's just an excuse narratively. But in the end, I think I got more out of this than most other Amityville schlogs. Sure, the stakes are low in this one, but it's thematically and technically and in all senses remained coherent as a story, and that's just fine.
Oh yeah, my arm's tired. I gotta work out when I do lunch.
As a postscriptum, I also let you know I contacted CSP Sean C. Phillips. What's up with Amityville Shark House? Maybe we will get an answer, maybe we won't. And also a certain Thomas Gersh, whose name appeared on the poster of Amityville, Germany. He was very nice and informed me that EG was unfortunately cancelled, never got into production. At least now we know for sure. For this one, The Lost Tapes, I gave it a 6 out of 10 because it was consistent. It built up on the subtle details to, towards something. It's not worse than Paranormal Activity aside being made cheaper. They did go to Amityville. Sure, the biggest flaw is the framing part, the kid watching the tape, which is the only one, so the plural was clickbait. And it goes pretty much nowhere and is unexplained, but who even cares? Takes at worst 2 minutes from the whole runtime, and it's not a big deal. Well, the main thing is, as said, it's not a pretentious, it's a light watch, but on its superficial level, it's kind of informative. And considering this is supposed to be a found footage flick, the talking over each other and low quality camera recording and just making the whole thing as an amateurish production, which it was, works out. It isn't just a couple of random things stitched together, and it doesn't try to be some lowbrow humor, whatever, like Amityville Death Toilet, which is... In the end, what else is to say? As an Amityville flick, I liked it.